Hello everybody, this is an astrological forecast for Virgo for 2011, and this also applies if you have a Virgo ascendant. So my Virgos, this year there's going to be a huge focus on your finances, on your values, on what's important to you, on your relationships greatly, and on your work and how you manage your work situation and your ideals. What is it that you're wanting to take you out of the mundane realities of life? So let's start out with this Saturn in your second house all year. Some people get worried about having Saturn in the second. They think, oh, that's going to be a restriction to finances, which it can mean. And it certainly means that you should be economical and you should not get too obsessed with money and finance. So it means that it's important to live within your needs, not your wants, but your needs, and then to somehow let it go, not to get too focused, because the issue with Saturn in the second house is that you often get insecure and worried about money. And these insecurities and that kind of vibration going out tends to make your finances unstable. So the best thing you can do is work out what you need, minimum, and then find out a way to cover those expenses to the best of your ability, pay down any debts that you've got to your best of your ability, and then forget about it. Don't put a big shining light on it. And then that Saturn in the second house won't bother you too much by too many restrictions or upsets. But what is very important with this Saturn in the second is that you look at your values, at what's important to you, and really make sure that you're living by those values and not according to another set of values that you may have learned from your parents, but that are not important to you. That's the important thing about this Saturn and the second house, and then it won't harm you. Now we've got Pluto in your fifth house, and this is a long transit, but very much Pluto in the fifth can make you, if you're in a relationship, it can make the relationship very intense and often quite difficult. If you're going into a new relationship during this time, you may find that you become almost obsessed with someone. It can be a very heavy relationship, a very controlling relationship, a relationship involving power struggles. If you have children, you may find that the relationship with them intensifies and there may be power struggles involved with them. You may find that you get involved with somebody who you really know is not good for you, but you have like a fascination for them and you can't get out of their spell. So watch out if you are getting into a new relationship. Watch out for the dynamic of it before you're too much into their net, if you like, and it's very difficult to get out of it. So just be aware that you may be drawn to somebody who's almost mesmerizing you against your will in a way. So very important in your relationships that there may be some heavy moments where you will have to assert what's important to you and not allow yourself to be controlled or manipulated by other people. If you are in a relationship, it could come under difficulties and intensity during this time, but if it survives this transit, then it will be stronger than ever and it will probably survive forever. We've got Neptune in your sixth house. With Neptune in the sixth, there could be some deception in your work area. People who are not who they seem to be, who are telling you things that in fact are not true. You're going to have to watch your back in your work area potentially. The way through this is to give to people who are less fortunate than you. Maybe to people who are ill, who are sick, who need some kind of a help. If you do that with Neptune in this sixth house, then it won't come back and bite you. Also with Neptune in the sixth house, it's important to take real good care of your health. This doesn't mean to say you're going to be sick, but you could be susceptible, more susceptible to just things that are flying around. One of the reasons for that is very often during this Neptune transit, we want to give up something that we think isn't good for us. Might be sugar, might be alcohol, whatever it is, but make sure if you're going to be very radical with something to your physical body, make sure you're aware of how your physical body is responding. Maybe this is not a good diet for you. Maybe a vegan diet is not the right diet for you personally. And it's really important that you study what your body is asking you for during this Neptune transit, because your health will come under focus, and it's important not to go on to any kind of really mad diet that could in fact put your body at risk. But it's not something to be worried about unless the aspects in your chart show really difficult health transits. Then this should be something that you're just aware of, and you make sure you take extra intuitive care of your body. When your body's giving you an intuitive message, that you pay attention to it when it says, I really need to rest, and you don't push yourself further over those boundaries where it becomes detrimental potentially to your physical health. For much of the year, we've got a lot of focus planets in your 7th house of relationship, and relationships probably will be disruptive. There could well be a new relationship that comes into your life that seems really exciting, but equally just disappears just as quickly. In your relationships generally, there may be some good business opportunities that come in, but you're going to have to study them very carefully to see which are really good opportunities and which could be very unsettling for you and unstable for you. So you're going to have to watch. There's going to be a lot of mixed things in your relationships. There's going to be more people coming into your life than ever before, and you may have to be more discerning. And Virgos, you are very good at discerning things, but put those antennae to the test in relationships, because some of you tend to get involved in a relationship too quickly and then only afterwards come to use these discernment skills that you have innately. And then often it can be too late and emotionally you've been hurt. So try to use those discernment skills early on before you let your heart get involved and then rule your head. Jupiter-Uranus in your 8th house for much of the year. This is going to mean that if you're involved with somebody or a partner, their finances may go up or down. You also could get an inheritance coming to you this year at some point with the Jupiter influence. With the Uranus influence, there may be some surprises attached to it. In fact, it could be a surprise inheritance, money from somebody that you never anticipated you'd have. Very important with Uranus there that you keep your finances separate from anyone else if you possibly can, that you've got some independence for financial decisions. This will be very important because Uranus always wants to break out. So before you get forced to break out, try to put in some independence, even as far as your banking situation is concerned. Are you with the right bank? Are they giving you enough flexibility? What are you doing with your finances? Are you tied up with debts that you really need to change and get free of? So all these questions will come into focus during this year. After June, we have Jupiter in your 9th house. This is going to be a wonderful time for any kind of travel. Travel to distant places, also a good time for international business, good time for publishing. If you want to publish a book or if you want to teach something new and you want to pass that to a wide audience, this will be a wonderful time from about June the 5th onwards to the end of the year when Jupiter is in that 9th house. Also a time when it can bring a lot of wisdom to you, and also a good time for teaching other people wisdom that you've learned that you want to share far and wide. Jupiter is generous. Jupiter wants to spread the message with generosity there so that everybody can benefit from some of the things that you've learned and benefited from. From August 22nd to September 15th, we've got Venus in your sign Virgo. So wonderful time if you want to attract love into your life, if you want to feel good about yourself. It's going to be a time when you're going to feel good about yourself and you're going to be able to get things with more ease coming to you and people accepting what you say more easily. We've got Mars in your sign from November 11th to the end of the year. That's going to be a time when you're going to have a burst of energy, a burst of feeling like, yes, I can do this. You're going to feel more self-confident, more assertive, and that will be the time to start new things and put new things into motion that will be very effective for you. So there you have it. That's your year ahead, my dear Virgos. A lot of focus on your finance, your money, your values, your creativity, your children, your love affairs, your relationships in general, and also expanding out, maybe teaching and passing on the wisdom that you've learned, and also some exciting foreign travel for many of you. So I wish you a wonderful 2011. You might want to have a personal reading done on 2011.